loves, welcome back to another episode of the Purpose to Service podcast. So this week may sound like a bit of a rant, but I promise you there is going to be some focus here. But I really just wanted to come over here with like literally no notes. I don't have any notes on me to just talk about like some things that have just been on my mind and on my heart throughout this entire year, and to really just put into perspective of like where I'm headed finishing out this year and like what I am wanting to accomplish in 2022. So before we dig into all of that, this is my last episode of the year, just of the year. I promise I will be back in 2022, but I am taking a break from social media. So like literally after this week I am deleting the apps off of my phone, and I'm taking a break from content creation. And honestly, y'all, I am tired. I am exhausted. This year has beat me up in ways that I feel like I could have never been prepared for. This year, just mentally and physically and emotionally, has just been very draining for me. And I told that to someone the other day, and they said, well, we can't tell, from how like you show up on social media. And while I'm thankful that I am able to like fake it until I make it, truth is I'm tired. I am tired. I'm exhausted. So I am taking a much needed break from social media, deleting the apps off of my phone, not producing any new content after this week. And I am both really excited because I know I need this break, but I'm also equally terrified because I've never been offline for this long. I think the biggest thing that's like getting to me now is like I feel like people are going to forget about me. Like I've disappeared before, like when I had the baby and I really wasn't talking about business online and doing all these things. And I think I have a fear of people like forgetting about me because I am in an industry that moves so fast. But I'm trying to keep in mind that like what is for me is still for me, regardless of if I take a break or not. And the things that I have been purposed to do are still going to be there, after I get done with like my social media and content break. So I'm taking a much needed break from social media content creation. This is the last podcast episode of the year. I do have a couple of vlogs that I still have yet to edit, y'all. But those are going to be going out over the next couple of weeks, and then I do have some scheduled posts like going out on social media. But I, Alisha, will not be actively online or not on social media until January 1st, 2022. So what brought me to this realization? One, this year has been exhausting, like I told you, and I'm pretty sure you may have like experienced it too. We still are very much in a pandemic when everyone thought that this thing would be over. Still a lot of racial injustice things happening, in the media and out in the world. And it's that alone is exhausting. And for me, I think I went into this year with so many high hopes, so many big goals, so many incredible things that I wanted to do. And I won't say none of it has happened because, there has been a lot of amazing things that has happened this year. But this year also kicked my ass, y'all. And I'm sorry for cursing, but like it kicked my behind. And a lot of the things that I thought I was going to accomplish, a lot of the things that I thought I was going to do did not happen. And emotionally, it has wrecked me. And like mentally, it has wrecked me a lot. It brought up a lot of imposter syndrome. It brought up a lot of confusion, a lot of doubt, a lot of questions that I have around myself as an entrepreneur, as a coach, as a writer. And it really has done a number on my mental health. So I do plan to spend, the next couple of months like doing what I need to do to like refresh myself, to feel re-energized, to get back inspired to keep doing what I do. So that is one of the reasons. You guys know I just wrapped up the launch for the Purpose to Service Academy a couple of weeks ago, and again I went into that launch like, this is going to be it. I'm going to do all of these amazing things. The strategy was laid out. I started like well in advance of like planning out everything. The whole launch was like flawless. And I did not hit my goal. I was far from hitting my goal. And although I did welcome some amazing women and men inside of my space, it just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And that broke me down for a long time. Like, it really put me in a position of thinking like, what is the point of me doing this? I was really starting to doubt my position as a coach, starting to doubt my abilities as a coach, you know, thinking, am I even good enough for this? Like, how can I teach these people if this launch didn't even go well? There was so much doubt, and honestly, I'm still kind of going back and forth with a lot of that now. But I took some time. You guys know, like, my faith is a key part of me. It's a key part of what I do in my business, and I took 7 days to go through this like plan on the Bible app around surrender, because after that launch I was just like, God, this year has beat me up in ways that I was not prepared for. I thought this launch was going to be my breakout moment, the moment everybody sees me, the moment everyone knows like why I'm so passionate and they, you know, want to follow what I do, because I'm so passionate about it. I feel so called to do it. Like, why, God, isn't this working? And so I went through this 7 day thing or plan on the Bible app about surrender. And I told myself for 7 days, I'm going to pray. I'm going to go through that plan. I'm going to pray and just ask God to like, just reveal to me, what is it I'm doing wrong? Because clearly what I'm trying isn't working. So like, I need to know, what is it that I am doing wrong? And through that, I think I got to day 6. I went to go pick up my daughter because she had spent the night at my mom's house. And I heard God clear as day say, your identity has been wrapped up in being a coach, when that is not who you are. It's what you do. It's an outlet for, or a means for how you pursue your purpose, but you are not just a coach. That is not just who you are. And I'm not one of those people who I feel like God just speaks to them so clearly and so, you know, outwardly. Like, that has never been my relationship with him. I feel like God has always spoken through me, through books, through sermons, through little like signs, but never so like audibly loud. And it was just me in the car by myself driving to go pick up River, and he clearly said, your identity has been wrapped up in being a coach, when that is not who I called you to be. And like, it was so just like mind-blowing, because I have been going back and forth with myself for years about wanting to write. You guys know, actually 4 years ago this month, I released my book, Living Over Existing. And God has, you know, kept telling me, to write. You need to be writing. I've called you to write. You should be a writer. Like, you need to be writing. And I've always been like, you know what, God, I can't write. You know, I can write here and there, but I'm a coach. Like, I have to make space for coaching, because coaching is how I make money. Coaching is what brings in the majority of my income. And I kept putting those things like writing to the side, even down to create the content that I create. I kept saying like, God, I really want to create some like lifestyle content. I really want to talk about the things that are happening in my life that have absolutely nothing to do with entrepreneurship, but I'm a coach. I can't do that. So like, I've been putting those things to the side, and God just said like, you're a coach, but that is not who I called you to be. Coaching is just an outlet, a means for you to be able to impact the people I have given you, and to, you know, fulfill your purpose. But that is not the only thing that you are. And like, I have been coaching y'all for 7 years. I've been coaching for a very long time, and over the years, I've just become so consumed with having this title as a coach that is all that I have been able to see. It's given me like tunnel vision. And even though I absolutely love writing and I want to write and I want to sit down and write, so much of my identity and who I am has been wrapped up in, no, you're a coach. You can't take writing seriously. Or if you do write, it has to accompany coaching. And it's like, no, like, coaching can come secondary to what I also feel I'm being called to do. I can sit down and take time to write this book and not feel guilty because I'm not talking about being a coach 24/7, or I'm not consumed about being a coach 24/7. And that's what I've been for the past 7 years. I've been consumed by this title that I have given myself. And when I had that big moment with God, he also gave me the analogy of, if you try to grow a tree in a box, that tree can only grow to the capacity that that box will allow. But if you remove that box, or if you don't remove that box, you'll never be able to see that tree's full potential, because it's never going to be able to grow in the box that it's been put in. And I was just like, okay, like, okay, this is what we're doing here, because I have been that tree. There are so many different parts of me that I know God wants me to put out into the world, that God wants me to share with the world, but I have put myself in this box of, I'm just a coach, and there is no way that he can use me or use my gifts, or that I can even show my full potential if I'm so wrapped up in this one thing. And that's not to say that I'm stopping coaching. You know, if you're my client, like, it's okay, I'm not going anywhere. But it's just showing me that I have to take myself out of this box if I want to really see what my full potential is. Like, I don't even know half of what God has planned for me, because I've been placing myself in this box for so long. So over the next month, 2 months, almost month and a half, whatever, I'm really planning on sitting down and just asking God, like, okay, who am I? Show me what you see in me. Show me who you desire for me to be. Show me how you want me to use the gifts that I have been given. One of those being writing. I have been working on revamping the Living Over Existing book for the longest, and I've been hard-headed, but I'm going to do that over, you know, the next couple of months, where I don't have all of these like outside sources coming in. So one of the things I'm going to be doing, and one of the reasons why I'm taking this break from creating content and being on social media, is just so that I can be very clear and get clarity around exactly who I am, how God sees me, and then what he wants from me to do. Like, what does he want for me to do? If my full identity isn't in coaching, then what is it in? Like, that's my plan for the next month and a half. So yeah, that was just a really big breakthrough that I recently had, and it blew my mind, like, to the point where I was like, I don't know what else to do, because what am I don't have a follow-up for that. Like, normally when God's like, I feel like God is trying to tell me something, I can make excuses, you know, I can like kind of see where he's going, but that completely blew my mind. And it makes sense that I feel like this entire year has been pulling me apart, and it's been so painful, y'all. Pulling me apart in so many different ways, from relationships to how I parent, to my marriage, to business, to everything has just been so odd this year. And it makes sense, because I was pouring so much of me into this identity of being a coach, when that's not what that's not all he wants from me. So there's that. That's what I plan to do over the next couple of months. And then also, I'm tired of seeing, like, I've talked about this before. The coaching industry has changed quite a bit since I got into this industry 7 years ago. And for a while there, I was like, you know what, I am going to change this industry. I am going to bring up other coaches and do all of these things. And while I do still partially drawn to that, that's hopefully one of the things I am going to get clarity on over this next 2 months. But I want to, when it comes to my content, when it comes to what I talk about online, I don't want to just feel like I am repeating the same information over and over and over and over again. I have been an entrepreneur for 9 years. I've been a coach for 7 years, and I'm really at the point now where I want to dig deep into these conversations about the coaching industry, about entrepreneurship in general. Like I'm craving, y'all, these deep conversations. Like, if we're going to talk about marketing, okay, let's talk about marketing on a level of how some people of privilege have more options when it comes to marketing. Or if we're going to talk about marketing, let's talk about how we should be marketing to our strengths and not just what's trendy. Like, those are the type of conversations that I want to have around the coaching industry, about entrepreneurship in general. Like, the coaching industry is $1 billion industry, and I feel like I only know an ounce of it. So I want to spend these next few months just researching and becoming a student again, and just learning all that I can about being a coach and being, you know, someone in this space who truly cares about this space and is wanting to help put out other people who are also really passionate about this space. And I want to do it where I'm not being influenced by what everyone else around me is doing. I follow a lot of coaches on social media who are all doing amazing things, but I'm not gonna lie, seeing people constantly talk about their 6-figure launches, hitting their $1 million years, I don't know, making $10,000 in 10 minutes, like, a lot of that really does start to weigh down on me. And then when I look at like the results and the things that I'm doing in my business compared to that, it sparks that comparison, it sparks that doubt, it sparks that worry, it, you know, really flares up that anxiety, and it makes it hard for me to make decisions based on what I truly want and not based on what other people in my industry are doing. And you guys know that I talk about, you know, one of the key pieces to building a sustainable coaching business is getting very clear on what you want. And I think from me just consuming so much content, so much of what other people are doing, I'm at a point now where I need to go back and refresh and rethink about what it is that I truly want in both my life and my business. And I can't do that if I'm constantly seeing what other people are doing or constantly being influenced by what other people have going on. So I want to be in a space where I can think clearly, I can make decisions and be confident that those decisions that I'm making is based on what I truly want and not what somebody else is doing. So this time off of social media, I'm hoping will spark that like joy almost that I feel like I'm missing in entrepreneurship right now. I'm missing in my business. I wanted to re-spark that creativity, re-spark that passion and that fire for like what I do. And y'all know I create content is my thing, but I've just felt so blah with creating content lately because I don't feel like I am contributing anything of substance to this industry. I don't feel like I am really tapping into like that part of my brain that like really wants to dig deeper into some of these topics, because one, I feel like I need to just give myself a break from consuming what's on the internet. And then two, I think I kind of got worried that people don't want to hear these in-depth conversations about the coaching industry. They just want to know how to make $10,000 in 10 minutes, and I'm not that coach. So I think I am in this space where I'm just figuring out where I fit. where do I fit in, you know, in this space? I've been talking a lot more about mental health and how that kind of affects my business, and I'm thankful for, you know, just the opportunities over the past couple of weeks have come to me to talk more about depression and anxiety and how that looks as an entrepreneur. And I know that that's something that I also really want to dig into and talk more about, but I don't know, I just don't feel like where I'm at right now, and this could also very well be all in my mind, but I don't feel like I have a place in this industry right now, and that's what I hope to gain clarity around before I go into the new year. And if there isn't a place, then what does my business look like moving forward? So yeah, that is a lot. So I am going to be spending the next month, 2 months or so, just praying for clarity around the direction that I need to go in, who I need to be helping, what I need to be doing to help those people. I want to become a student again, so like studying and just learning more about the ins and outs of the coaching industry. I'm going to write. Yes, actually sitting down and writing, contacting some book editors so that we can go ahead and get these pre-orders popping off for the Living Over Existing book. And then above all, just resting and preparing and doing what I need to do to fill myself back up, because I do feel like I am running on negative E right now. Like if I was a Honda, I would say that I'm running on like less than a quarter tank of gas. And like, you know, in a Hondas can like push you across the world with a quarter tank of gas, but I feel like I'm running on fumes right now. So that is my plan for the next couple of months, just clarity and just re-energizing myself and getting that excitement back into this thing that I love. And I feel like all of this is very normal. Again, I've been an entrepreneur for a very long time. I've been coaching for a very long time, and I think I just need this space to just reconnect with my why, reconnect that why with what God's why is, and just see where, you know, where I'm headed in 2022. But I promise you guys, I will be back. I don't have any plans of letting go of the podcast unless something happens and, you know, God is like, I don't think you need to talk to them no more. But the podcast has always been one of those things that I've always been like a sure thing for me. So yeah, I cannot wait to come back on here in January and just share what all has been taking place over the next 2 months. I pray that it is enlightening and comforting, very comforting. Like I want to feel like I'm just being hugged. Comforting and enlightening and energizing and all of those things. So again, just thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for all of your support that you have shown me. Whether you've been here for two weeks or 2 years, thank you so much. And I will be chatting with you guys in 2022.